Part 65. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 642. And at this moment, outside the Tianyuan star realm, a group of people have arrived. The people leading the way were clearly the Bull Demon King and Lu Kailing. Nanfan, Xiling, Yungzi, Wu Dade and a group of others followed them. My benefactors, ahead is the Tianyuan star realm, where the Tengu clan is located. Lu Kailing pointed to the eternal world in front of her and spoke. Everyone, there should be a few immortal beings in the Demon Emperor Mountain, they are all top sages, even Yatu. The Bull Demon King spoke solemnly. He was a little worried. Although all of these young people in front of him were extremely talented, they were still young after all, and their cultivation level could not reach the level of a king. But in the mountain village, the senior expert who killed the venerable with a snap of his fingers didn't come. Can it be done? Yachty level dog meat? It must be delicious when braised in red. I'm so greedy just thinking about it. Please lead the way. Wu Dade wiped his saliva. As soon as I finished speaking, my butt hurt. Wu Dade ran away in a hurry. Everyone smiled and immediately entered the Tianyuan star realm. They arrived directly outside the gate of Demon Emperor Mountain. The Bull Demon King is back, open the mountain gate. The Bull Demon King spoke directly, and his voice shook Dishan. Now, in the main hall of Emperor Shao Mountain, the three venerables were overjoyed. I didn't expect that God would help our clan to find such a blessed place. If it weren't for Ao Wushuan's reminder, I might not be able to bear it anymore and kill him. They were all overjoyed. For countless years, they could only spend time in seclusion, in deep sleep, and their lives were short. But now, not only does he have hope of reviving his second life, he can even go one step further and spy on the throne. What a blessing! We must focus on cultivating the son Ao Wushuan. After a few years, we will marry the princesses and saints from the clan to him. Such talents must be well captured. Go Densi spoke. Take a long-term view. Hearing this, the other two people also nodded. At this moment, outside the mountain gate, a loud shout suddenly came. The Bull Demon King is back. Hearing this, the three venerables were shocked. The Bull Demon King is back. Please. They shouted eagerly. Soon. Bull Demon King, Lu Kailing, and Wu Dade and others walked into the main hall. Lord Niu, are you okay? Go Dengfeng looked surprised. Venerable Niu, what happened in that small mountain village? Did you get any great opportunity? Go Denjiao asked nervously. When the Bull Demon King heard this, he was startled and said. How do you know about the small mountain village? Gao Deng thought. Just now, Ao Wushuan came. He said he told me about the situation in the small mountain village. Bull Demon King and Lu Kailing were both shocked. Ao Wushuan? What did he say? The Bull Demon King couldn't help but ask. He told us about the land of opportunity. Gao Deng thought that he was about to finish what he had just said. After hearing this, Lu Kailing and Bull Demon King were both shocked. A place of opportunity? Divine Phoenix True Dragon Treasure? Are there countless divine herbs and fruits? Damn, what is this Ao Wushuan doing? Are you telling lies? Moreover, it is too outrageous. The place where the demon clan venerables were treated as ingredients for cooking, in Ao Wushuan's mouth, turned into a supremely blessed place. Is this guy planning to gather the entire demon clan and send them to the small mountain village? The key is that Go Densi and other venerables actually believed it. This Ao Wushuan is so unbelievable. Does he want to single-handedly turn the entire demon clan into food? Even the Bull Demon King felt embarrassed. He suddenly felt a little lucky. Fortunately, I didn't offend Ao Wushuan. Otherwise, he will die in the pot sooner or later, and he will not know why he was sent there. Lu Kaling looked a little complicated and whispered. He must have misunderstood something and did this because he wanted to save me, right? But Go Densi, unaware of it, with a face of greed and yearning, asked. Venerable Niu, that small mountain village is a place of opportunity. There are countless relics of the divine phoenix, true dragon treasures, and even divine grass and fruits. Did you get anything? The bull demon king was silent and hesitant. Tell the truth or lie? Do you want to perform with Ao Wushuan? He struggled in his heart. When he hesitated, Lu Kaling had already stepped forward and said firmly. Certainly. Ao Wushuan is right at all. Look, this is the treasure we got. She casually took out a plum. Go Densi and the other three people immediately stared at him with greed in their eyes. Supreme divine fruit. If you can get it, you will definitely be able to live a second life and achieve the throne of emperor. Their breathing became heavy and rapid. They clearly felt that this plum seemed to contain the source energy and principles of the world. If they could take a bite of it, it would be unimaginable. The supreme treasure is right in front of you. But Lu Kaling put it away immediately. However, Ao Wushuan is right. That place is too dangerous. We only narrowly escaped death before returning. If we can unite the venerables of the major demon clans and go there together, we will have greater confidence. Lu Kaling spoke calmly. Go Densi and the other two people, upon hearing this, completely believed it. Ao Wushuan is such a good person. He must hurry up and complete his great work of lobbying all parties. We can't wait. My situation is too small. I should have given Ao Wushuan the 8th level magic elixir just now, but I only gave him the 7th level pill. My situation is too small. The three venerables were looking forward to it more and more, and Go Densi felt that he seemed to have treated Ao Wushuan a little badly. By the way, could this be? At this moment, Go Dengfeng saw the big black dog following him. He was suddenly shocked. The big black dog was exactly the same as what they had seen in Ao Wushuan's memory before. Gaudensi suddenly became excited. Has the emperor returned? He stepped forward, bowed greatly, and said. Welcome the emperor. The three venerables all bowed respectfully. However, the big black dog raised its paws and said arrogantly and coldly. Emperor's son? That's nonsense. This emperor is the ancestor of the emperor, and that little demon emperor is just a hybrid descendant of mine. Hearing this, the three venerables were immediately stunned. What, this is not the emperor? But, the emperor ancestor? They looked at each other. It's very possible. This person's personality seems unpredictable. Could it be that our previous guess was wrong? It's possible that this person is blood related to the demon emperor, but the demon emperor didn't say clearly at the time that he was his heir. It's also possible that he is his elder. All three of them were shocked. Stop the ink. Where is the descendant of this emperor? I heard that he is trapped in a broken and lost place. I will rescue him now. The big black dog looked so calm. Hearing this, the three venerables were overjoyed. Grandpa Daizu, please come with us. Gaudensi spoke immediately. Good night. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 643. In the secret palace of the Tengu clan. Go Densi and other three venerables led the way, and the big black dog came with its head raised. Entering the main hall, I saw an old man with thinning hair in the center of the main hall, sitting in front of a statue of a Tengu, taking a nap. The old man was dozing off and drooling, as if he was talking in his sleep. Big black dog, save the ancestor emperor, what on earth are you talking about? Even in the dream, it is still thinking about it. Senior Luan Yan. Go Densi stepped forward and said, Wake up, Senior Luan Yan, Grandpa Daizu is here. Immediately, Xuanhuan woke up from his sleep, rubbed his eyes and said, "What's wrong?" "Senior, Grandpa Daizu is here." Gaudensi pointed at the big black dog. Xuanhuan looked around and was startled when his eyes fell on the big black dog. "What kind of bloodline is this? It actually makes me feel like I want to kneel down and worship." Xuanhuan was shocked. He was the queen of the demon emperor and had a trace of emperor blood in his body. Therefore, he could deeply feel the terror of the big black dog. That kind of natural aura and bloodline power are definitely not weaker than the emperor. "Senior, we made a mistake. This senior is not the emperor's son, but the emperor's ancestor." Go Densi spoke quietly, fearing that Goluan would speak nonsense and anger the black senior. After Goluan heard this, he knelt down and said very excitedly, "Meet Grandpa Daizu." He had no doubt. Because the power of blood cannot lie to others, the blood energy of the dog in front of him is enough to explain its identity. The big black dog nodded its head indifferently, looked at the statue, and said, "Is this the statue of the mutt? Come, contact that mutt and tell him that his grandfather has come to save him." Hearing this, Goluan felt happy. At that time, I really heard what the demon emperor said clearly, and I really wanted to find this big black dog to save the demon emperor. "Grandpa Zudi, I'll contact you right now." After saying that, Goluan stood up. He turned around and smeared the demon emperor's statue with his essence and blood. In the secret palace, there is some kind of magic circle quietly circulating. Last time, the demon emperor had established some kind of secret connection with this statue. Now that it is restarted, the demon emperor can be contacted. "Ancestor, I found the big black dog. He is here to save you. Come back quickly, come back quickly." Goluan shouted loudly. At this moment, this Tengu statue seems to have some kind of power emanating from the underworld, and it seems to be able to travel through time and space. And the big black dog suddenly stepped forward and said, "Get out of the way, let me come and summon it back." After saying that, it raised its paw, pulled a lot of hair from the dog's paw, and sprayed it on the blood-stained sculpture. "This mongrel dog shouldn't be far away from this emperor's Dao fruit. I just want to use him to contact my emperor's Dao fruit," the big black dog whispered. And at this moment, in a time and space where time is confused and light and shadow are intertwined, a yellow spotted dog, dying, extremely miserable. Why hasn't there been any movement yet? This emperor can't wait any longer. The Dalmatian raised his eyes and looked forward with some fear. In the past few days, in the distance ahead, in the space where the giant bronze door was, the figure of the big black dog flashed past from time to time, scaring it so much that it almost lost its soul. That big black dog is simply terrifying. No, I must not be discovered by it, otherwise, I will be dead. The demon emperor felt chills in his heart. Suddenly, he seemed to sense something, and his ears suddenly stood up. "Ancestor, I found it." Upon hearing this, the demon emperor stood up immediately, his eyes filled with excitement. "I finally found it, and I finally had hope of returning to the underworld." However, the Dalmatian was stunned by the next sentence. "I found the big black dog, he is here to save you." The Dalmatian was immediately confused. "What? Did you hear it correctly? Found the big black dog? Come to save yourself? What the hell? What the hell is a big black dog? Damn it, are the people I contacted my descendants?" And at this moment, he suddenly felt that there seemed to be an unfathomable power in his connection with the world. That power, that energy, was transmitted here by virtue of the formation that connected him with the world of the sun. Woof! In the space far ahead, where the giant bronze door was, a dog barked suddenly. Hearing the barking of the dog, the demon emperor was scared to death. It was trembling all over, terrified. "No! Stop, quickly! Don't let the big black dog come, save me. This emperor is going to die. He hurriedly shouted towards Yang Jian. Once this kind of connection is opened, only the party who actively opened it can sever the connection. And at this moment, Demon Emperor Mountain, in the secret palace, several dog barks suddenly came from the sculpture. Ancestor has spoken. Xuanhuan was surprised. He hurriedly picked out his ears and got close to the sculpture. What? Don't stop. What else? Let the big black dog come over? Save you. Are you going to die, ancestor? Xuanhuan became anxious after hearing this. What on earth was the ancestor talking about? It's hard to explain. Then, there was no sound over there. Senior, what did the ancestor say? Go Densi and others stepped forward cautiously and asked questions with expectant looks on their faces. Xuanhuan thought for a moment and said firmly. The Demon Emperor tells us to hurry up, don't stop, let the big black dog, no, let Grandpa Zio pass, otherwise, he will die. Hearing this, Go Densi was anxious. This is how to do. The Demon Emperor is in a very anxious state. Go Densi looked at the big black dog and said. Grandpa Zio, the Demon Emperor asked you to save him, what should we do? But the big black dog was a little confused at the moment. There was some confusion in its dog eyes, and it glanced at Xuanhuan. Is this guy, probably not an undercover agent or a traitor? God assists. Strengthen the magic circle. The magic circle here can contact the mongrel dog. I will lure it over. The big black dog spoke calmly. Go Densi and others immediately nodded and gritted their teeth and said. The three of us will burn the essence and blood to strengthen the magic circle. Fight hard and come back for the Demon Emperor. Revival for our clan. Immediately, the three venerables burned their essence and blood, and burned their souls. It was just desperate. And in the secret palace, the power of the formation connected with the Demon Emperor suddenly shone brightly, 10 times more powerfully. A place where time and space are confused. No. Don't come over. Don't come over here. The Demon Emperor trembled, lying on the ground, subconsciously retreating, and sweating all over his body. Because, in the space and time ahead, the big black dog actually came over. The closer you get, the clearer the terrifying energy becomes. It is like an ant seeing a giant dragon, or a firefly seeing a bright moon. At this moment, the Demon Emperor could only crawl on the ground, not daring to move. Moreover, it clearly felt that its connection with the underworld had inexplicably strengthened. The stronger the connection, the stronger the energy that does not belong to him. He suspected that the big black dog was attracted by this energy. Damn it, have I contacted the traitors and undercover agents in the world? The Demon Emperor almost lost his mind. It wants to cry, really. I want to escape, I want to escape. It stood up with difficulty and wanted to run back. However, suddenly, it felt as if it was pressed by something, and it fell down again. When he turned around, he saw a tall and majestic black dog sitting behind him indifferently, raising his paw to press him. Face to face with this big black dog, the Demon Emperor suddenly became frightened. No. Master dog, ancestor dog, spare your life. It just knelt down and begged. But the big black dog didn't look at it at all. Instead, he turned his head, sniffed, and sensed some kind of energy. Master, you dead dog, you left this Dao fruit here to guard the door for hundreds of thousands of years. The big black dog said angrily. Having harmed this Daokyo, being beaten and bullied by others, do you know how this emperor got here all these years? I really want to bite you to death. After saying that, it suddenly lowered its head and bit off a piece of leg hair from its leg. This connection is too weak. With this little mud, you can bring back at most one leg hair of this Dao fruit, you use it first. Come and pick me up early. Woof. The big black dog threw the leg hair on the Dalmatian dog, then raised its paw and manifested its magical power. In this time and space, it seemed that some kind of secret passage in time and space had been opened. The big black dog threw the Dalmatian into the secret passage with a paw. Then, the big black dog turned back and looked at the endless chaos of time and space, as if the world was destroyed piece by piece, floating in a lost place. Wow, I feel that this cemetery may not be peaceful. It whispers. I worked overtime and was late. I am writing the second chapter. I am really writing it. If you don't believe me, you can search on Douyin, writer returns to his heart. Today's live broadcast will be written until 12 o'clock. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 644. And at this moment, Demon Emperor Mountain. Go Densi and other three venerables burned the demon blood and used their life essence to burn, and went all out. The power of the magic circle is great. At this moment, in this secret palace, a scene from another time and space seemed to appear. It was an endless chaotic time and space, but there seemed to be a passage running through this place. In the passage, a Dalmatian dog came limply as if dead. The Demon Emperor is here. It's him, the Demon Emperor. Those charming spots and this incomparable imperial posture, he is really a Demon Emperor. Many demon lords of the Tengu clan were extremely surprised. The Demon Emperor returns. Come on, come on. Xuanhuan was also dancing with joy and crying with joy. Soon, the Dalmatian dog seemed to be approaching rapidly from the passage of time. Boom. In the secret hall, some kind of ancient power suddenly sounded, and for an instant, the magic circle in the main hall was silent. All power has disappeared. As for the blood-stained Tengu statue, it seemed like some kind of mysterious existence had descended upon it. Snapped. The statue of Tengu was cracked. Then, a living dog suddenly appeared among them. An extremely embarrassed Dalmatian. It's the Demon Emperor. It's back. Demon Emperor. Meet the Demon Emperor. Meet the Demon Emperor. The venerables of the Tengu clan were all surprised and extremely excited. They all knelt on the ground and saluted. And when this Dalmatian dog appeared in the secret palace, the dog's eyes were also a little dazed. This is the breath of the world. The Emperor is back. Has the Emperor's true form come back? It spoke eloquently, and its words were trembling with excitement. Originally, with its preparations, even with the method of drawing blood, it could only bring back a ray of its own soul. That was also a helpless move. After all, it was better to have a ray of remnant soul return than to die completely in a broken and lost place. But now, he actually came in the flesh. Is all this because of that scary big black dog? The other party can actually open a passage leading to the underworld. What kind of existence is that big black dog? However, why the big black dog wanted to help him, it was a bit puzzling. Ancestor, you are finally back, and I am your descendant Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan knelt forward and said with a flattering smile on his face. Ancestor, I found the big black dog according to your order. No, Grandpa Ancestor. Let him save you. Hearing this, the Demon Emperor was suddenly stunned. Big black dog. You found the big black dog? He asked tremblingly. Xuanhuan nodded, pointed behind him, and said, Look, Grandpa Ziu. The Demon Emperor immediately looked forward subconsciously. But I saw that a group of people in front were looking at it with great interest, and their eyes seemed a little greedy. In front of that group of young people, there was a big black dog, with its head held high, looking at it with arrogance and disdain. Damn! When the demon emperor saw this, he was immediately shocked. Why is this big black dog in the world of the world? Isn't it guarding the giant bronze door? Why are you here? It spoke tremblingly. Ah, Grandpa, you really recognize Grandpa. Xuanhuan was even happier. However, the demon emperor trembled and slapped Xuanhuan on the head with his paw. I recognize your ancestor. You are a traitor and an undercover agent. If you harm me, I will kill you. It stood up and faced Xuanhuan with a series of punches and kicks. Xuanhuan was beaten to a pulp. He vomited blood and said in horror, Ancestor, why are you like this? Densi and other venerables were also stunned. Demon Emperor, what happened? Tisk, tisk, little bastard, why are you so crazy? At this time, the big black dog spoke. Seeing this, the demon emperor bared his teeth and roared, saying, Damn black dog, how dare you despise this emperor? Do you really think you are invincible? Even though you are related to the dog behind the giant bronze door, you are just a dog king. To me, you are just an ant. It was approaching the big black dog step by step. At this moment, its broken and old body was like a mountain, as if it was impossible to look directly at it. The demon emperor exudes powerful aura. Even though it has wandered in the lost and broken land for many years and its strength has been greatly reduced, it is still an emperor. As soon as the emperor's machine came out, the world was shaken. In the main hall, Go Dengxi, Go Dengfeng, etc. all transformed into prototypes of dog bodies, lying on the ground, unable to lift their heads. The entire Demon Emperor mountain felt like a giant evil force was traveling out of the wilderness. The mountains shook and the ground shook. For a moment, dogs barked like thunder in the mountains and forests. The entire Tengu clan felt it, and thousands of dogs were barking wildly. This kind of chi machine spread from the Tianyuan star realm throughout the galaxy, causing the void to tremble, and there was an inexplicable roar of the great avenue in the universe, in harmony with the Emperor's chi machine. This is the Emperor, the invincible existence in the entire world. Demon Emperor Mountain, in the main hall. The Demon Emperor was like a mountain, approaching step by step. Its body was 7 or 8 meters tall. It lowered its head and looked down at the big black dog and said in a deep voice, Tell me, who are you and what are your origins? Speak the secret of the broken and lost place, tell the way to eternity. Otherwise, I will swallow you up. The words are like the sound of Taoism, like a decree. Looking at the entire world, even the top sages and emperors can only tremble and obey in front of it. The Demon Emperor has seen that although the big black dog in the world seems to be of high status and has the same aura as the one in the chaotic time and space, this big black dog is just a king. The realm is still far away. Just lift your paw to kill it. Therefore, he became murderous and greedy. After all, this dog definitely has an extraordinary origin and knows many big secrets. Nanfan, Longzixuan, and others' expressions changed slightly. The power of the Demon Emperor is indeed very terrifying. Damn it, you dare to threaten my dog and want to eat it. Wu Dade couldn't bear it anymore. He stepped out and gritted his teeth and said, Fat Master, I think you don't deserve to be saved. He turned his head, looked at Qing Chen, and said, Senior brother, lend me the fire stick. He was really angry. Qing Chen also nodded. Now, facing the Demon Emperor, perhaps the only option is to burn a fire stick. However, the big black dog raised his paw and said disdainfully, No need. Such a little mutt is like an ant in front of me. No, calling it an ant is an insult to the word ant. It was extremely arrogant and said, Today, let me show you what it means to be invincible and what it means to be a supreme emperor. Little bastard, watch out, a hair from my leg can crush you forever. As soon as he finished speaking, the big black dog suddenly stood up. It moved its paw, and the dog yelled rhythmically. Woof woof, woof woof woof, woof 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 woof. With its cry. Suddenly, a hair suddenly appeared on the demon emperor's body. It was a black dog hair. Black and translucent, the texture is tough, as if it were cast from black gold. The hair of this emperor can weigh down the heavens. Woof! The big black dog yelled. On top of the black hair, there seems to be an endless breath of chaos falling, which can collapse everything and reopen the universe. At this moment, the invincible demon emperor suddenly let out a scream of terror. No! Its huge body suddenly shrank rapidly and became as big as an ordinary dog. It lay on the ground, trembling, and did not dare to move. The emperor's power dissipated, and the demon emperor restrained his energy and did not dare to be rampant again. It looked at the dog hair on top of its head. At this moment, it suddenly understood something. Is this the hair of the big black dog behind the giant bronze door? The big black dog behind the giant bronze door sent a hair through him. This is obviously just a hair, why can't I resist? Go Densi was completely shocked, looking at the scene in front of him in disbelief. It was like seeing a ghost. What's going on? That belongs to the demon emperor, the top existence in the world. Although its current strength is far inferior to that of its heyday, as long as it is alive, it will always be the one that the world looks up to. Now, but he's shivering under the weight of a hair? Malcolm! The big black dog shouted loudly. I saw that black and translucent dog hair floating in front of the big black dog. The dog hair energy spread out, and suddenly the shadow of a dog appeared. The shadow of this dog looks exactly like the big black dog. Woof woof, woof 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 woof. The phantom of the dog barked at the big black dog, as if he was very angry and aggrieved. When the big black dog saw this, he was immediately startled and said, What? You were beaten behind the giant bronze door. You were beaten more than once. Wow, who did this? The big black dog seems very angry. You can go to bed first, I may not be able to write the third chapter. Good night. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 645. After listening to the barking of the phantom, the big black dog's eyes looked uncertain, as if angry, aggrieved, and surprised. Woof woof, woof woof woof. The black dog phantom barked a few more times. The big black dog then said, Okay, I understand. If you work hard for a while longer, I will let you come back after a while. He waved his paw, and the shadow of the black dog disappeared immediately. This phantom of the black dog is its Taoist fruit, a picture left for it to complain about. Malcolm. The big black dog spoke, and the black dog hair immediately fell on the big black dog's right front paw. It's like being rooted in it. At this moment, the big black dog's energy suddenly changed, as if it contained the energy of ancient chaos, and it was extremely extraordinary. Nanfan, Wu Dade, and others were all shocked. With just one hair, Dehe has grown to the level of an emperor. Lin Jujhan spoke unexpectedly. It's scary. The big black dog is really fierce. Lu Rang couldn't help but murmur. Wu Dade even subconsciously covered his butt. Damn it, if this damn dog bites someone in the future, I'm afraid it will hurt even more. He was afraid. Grandpa Ziu, let me go, spare me. You are my biological grandfather. At this moment, the demon emperor was kneeling on the ground, pleading to Dehe. Its imperial dignity is completely gone. At the level of the emperor, nothing else matters except life and death. Only by staying alive can we have a future. Seeing this, Go Dengxi, Go Dengfeng and other venerables also knelt down and worshipped the big black dog. Grandpa, have mercy. Spare my life. They were almost crying. The big black dog was so disgusting, he said. Are you worthy of calling me grandpa? The blood is all mixed up like a dog. Hearing this, the demon emperor was startled for a moment. Damn, this dog is too much. He is a great demon emperor, so he calls it grandpa, but does he still take advantage? It was angry, but still humbled and said, Great emperor, I was wrong. I'm sorry, please punish me. The big black dog reluctantly nodded. Hey, in my opinion, you might as well bring these dogs with you. At this time, Zhongli suddenly spoke and said, If we go to the Brahma court here, I'm afraid there will be a fierce battle. If we can conquer them, it will be a fighting force. Use waste. Hearing this, the big black dog nodded and said, This emperor gives you a chance to live. Follow me and conquer those bald donkeys in the West Heaven Brahma court. Hearing this, the demon emperor and others were shocked. Are these people going to fight against the Vatican? Too courageous. It should be noted that the strength of the Brahma court is higher than that of the demon realm. Woof. Listen to the emperor. The demon emperor gritted his teeth. Now, it's willing to do anything. As long as you don't die. Okay, let's go. Immediately, they left with the demon emperor, Go Densi and other 3 great sages. When Bull Demon King and Lu Kaling saw this, they were both overjoyed. I didn't expect that this Mr. Dog is so powerful and terrifying. The Bull Demon King sighed secretly in his heart, and at the same time felt that the monkey might really be saved this time. By the way, adults, I have a big secret to reveal to you. At this time, Go Densi suddenly spoke and said, That cunning villain named Xuanhuan wants to use the art of combining vertical and horizontal lines to unite the entire demon clan to deal with you. We have to guard against it. He felt that he could take credit for this. However, Lu Kaling gave him a cold look and said, How dare you scold him again? When Go Densi heard this, he was stunned. What is going on? Xuanhuan, is it possible that he is with these people? Damn, something's wrong. At this moment, Go Densi felt like he understood something. The 3 of them were deceived by the little true god Xuanhuan. The Bull Demon King also patted Go Densi sympathetically and said, That's outrageous. You Tengu clan are so outrageous. From the very beginning, you avoid the correct answers at all. He felt that the Tengu clan were so pitiful. He was fooled by the unreliable descendant of the demon emperor Goluanyan, by Xuanhuan, by Lu Kaling, Big Black Dog. I was deceived all the way. When Go Densi heard this, he fell silent, completely silent. I'm so stupid, really. There were tears in its eyes and it said, Wow, I don't believe in humans anymore. And at this moment, in the vast galaxy, a middle-aged man was walking with a sword. He is extremely fast, traveling through the void while pitching, and traveling hundreds of millions of miles a day while raising his feet. It was Xuanhuan. The Dragon Demon Clan, the Demon Dragon Clan, and the Demon Peng Clan have all been taken care of. Now, let's go to the 6-eared Macaque Clan. His face was filled with a satisfied smile. There are 3 jade pendants hanging on his waist. All are tokens of the 3 demon clans. After some painstaking lobbying, he won the favor of all the demon clans with his extraordinary manipulation skills. He became the holy son of the Dragon Demon Clan, the Demon Dragon Clan, and the Demon Peng Clan. Moreover, he also received many treasures given by venerable figures. The small mountain villages in the world have been suffering for a long time. Now I, Xuanhuan, wear the jade of the holy son of the 4 tribes, and with the power of the demon world, I will bring violence to the village in one battle. His heart is full of pride and ambition. He believes that this is a great undertaking that has never been done before and will never be done again. In this world, there are many people who die without knowing how powerful a small mountain village is. But I, Lao Ao, may be the only one who knows the evil in a small mountain village and can muster the courage to fight against it. Lonely. His heart was surging and he said firmly. Small mountain village, when you see the endless demon army, you will never know that all this comes from the anger of my old Ao. After saying that, he proudly embarked on the journey to the six-eared macaque clan. And at this moment, West Heaven Brahma Court. In the secret place, the Five Fingers Mountain stands alone. Old bald donkey, I thought you were so arrogant. I never thought you would be scared to death. Ha ha, ha ha ha. At the foot of the Five Elements Mountain, Zhezing soon laughed happily. Seeing Brahmazia being frightened to death by the terrifying waterfall that traveled through the years, he felt extremely happy. Patriarch Brahma, on the other hand, was indifferent and expressionless. The urine stain between his legs has been refined by the snap of his fingers. So what if you are scared to death? At least I know how to be reverent. He was very calm and said. Only when you know reverence can you live a long life. You must know that it is easy to break when you are strong, and you are a man who can bend and stretch. Those who can achieve great things should not be afraid of this little shame. In your eyes, it is dirty and smelly feces and urine, but in my eyes, it can be drank like nectar. This is the realm, you don't understand. Hearing this, Zhezing soon was shocked. He looked complicated and said. Your realm, is indeed admirable, admirable. However, no matter how high your level is, you can't hurt my daughter or know the location of the top secret place. Now, Zhezing soon has no worries. When Brahma Patriarch heard this, his face turned gloomy. Now, he really didn't dare to act rashly. The girl in the ice coffin was protected by some mysterious power and could not threaten her descendants. Looking back in time and space, she saw such a terrifying scene again. When Ian asks to see Patriarch Brahma. At this time, a voice suddenly came from outside the secret place. Brahma ancestor said calmly. Come in. Not long after, a figure appeared in the distance behind Brahma ancestor. It was a middle-aged venerable man from the Vatican who looked kind, but his face seemed to be somewhere between a man and a woman, making it difficult to distinguish. He is Venerable Xuanhuan, one of the four great protectors of the Brahma court. The four great protectors of the Vatican, Xuanhuan, Xuanxian, Shukpu, and Shizi. At this moment, Venerable Xuanhuan conveyed the secret message to Brahma Patriarch. Suddenly, Brahma ancestor's expression changed. He looked at Zhezing Sun and suddenly smiled and said. Zhezing Sun, did you know, someone is coming to save you? Hearing this, Xing Sun raised his eyes, narrowed his eyes, and said. Who? Brahma ancestor smiled leisurely and said. It is said that it is a big black dog. That dog seems to have gone to Demon Emperor Mountain and collected all of Demon Emperor Mountain. What does this dog have to do with you? When Zhezing Sun heard this, he felt baffled. A big black dog. I have never interacted with the dog tribe. Haha, it is said that following that dog are your sworn brother, the Bull Demon King, and a little monkey of the six-eared macaque. I'm looking forward to their arrival. When the time comes, maybe you will see the Bull Demon King beheaded alive with your own eyes, and see your direct descendants being gang-raped to death. It will also be a good show, isn't it? He smiled coldly. Being urged to update online by my book friends, I really need to be more diligent, I'm so tired. Good night. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 646. Ancestor Brahma, what should I do? Outside the secret realm of Lingshan, Venerable Xuanhuan spoke in a low voice and asked for instructions. Disciple immediately sent people to suppress these thieves. Brahma ancestor nodded calmly and said. The order is for martial law, don't let up. Xuanhuan nodded and left immediately. Haha, Mr. Fanzu, are you afraid? Zhezing Sun spoke disdainfully. Brahma ancestor said indifferently. I am invincible, so why should I be afraid? After saying that, he left the secret realm of Lingshan. Appearing in the 9 heavens of Brahma. He was thinking, and suddenly raised his hand, and a Brahma shadow suddenly appeared. This is a female venerable figure, quite fat, but there is always a kind of falsehood on her compassionate face, which seems to be a smile but not a smile. Surprisingly, her features were very similar to those of Brahma ancestor. Seeing this venerable person appear, Brahma patriarch calmly clicked his fingers, and behind the venerable person, light and shadow suddenly appeared. In those circumstances, this noble female venerable actually used her body to serve thousands of people, including humans, demons, gods, demons, ghosts. She refused to refuse anyone who came. She has lived in this kind of life for 100,000 years. Brahma could not help but show a hint of appreciation in his eyes. Then, the scene changed, and she actually drowned in feces and urine and used it as food, for the same 100,000 years. Seeing this, Brahma had no expression on his face, waved his hand, and said without looking much. Is it comfortable to serve thousands of people and enjoy 100,000 years? The female venerable smiled and said, I am you, you are me, don't you know whether I am comfortable or not? Brahmazu said with an expression on his face. The connection between you and me has been completely severed long ago, without cause and effect. The female venerable smiled and said, I was originally your clone, but you deliberately made me into a female body, to be trampled on by the evil in the world, to swallow the filth of the world, in order to cut off the causal connection with you. Are you so afraid that if I die, I will harm you? This female venerable is a clone of Brahma ancestor. Brahma patriarch is extremely cautious, and he often uses his clone to act on his behalf. However, he is afraid that his clone will cause trouble and implicate himself. Therefore, he allowed his clone to grow up in the extreme filth of the world. In this way, the cause and effect between him and his clone was almost severed. Even if there is a supreme being who can trace the connection between him and his clone against the will of heaven, the connection between him and his clone is also full of filth and stench. He believes that such a being is not interested. Go through the filth to kill yourself. In this way, you can ensure your own safety. At the beginning, the connection between him and his clone could not be severed, so he felt the pain of breaking up. But, he endured it. Every avatar of him has this kind of experience. He has spent 100,000 years in the world's affairs, and 100,000 years of indulging in filth. He often said that drinking shit and urine is like nectar. He was really not bragging. Brahma ancestor said calmly. It's always a good idea to be cautious. If I hadn't been cautious, thousands of years ago, during the battle between the six-eared macaque clan, I would have been implicated and died by the clone. He had gone back in time and witnessed the death of his avatar in the six-eared macaque clan before, and he realized that it was simply a massacre. If he hadn't cut off the causal connection with his clone, his main body might have been killed by the heavenly waterfall that traveled through time and space. Haha, so, you are going to die again. The female venerable sneered and spoke. Brahma nodded, looked back at the 5 elements mountain in the secret mountain, and said, I need to die once, and I need those people even more. The rescuer Xing soon. After I die and Zhezing soon is rescued, they will naturally go to a top secret place with peace of mind to find the stone statue of the monkey god. This is my only chance. He is very calm. This is his plan. Reincarnation has its master, and the stone statue of the monkey is his only choice. However, he first did not dare to trace back Zhezing Sun's memory, and secondly, he did not dare to attack Zhezing Sun's daughter. We can only play hard to get and let those people rescue Zhezing Sun first. Only in this way can we have the opportunity to act secretly. The female venerable was silent for a moment and said, Can. Her shape slowly changed. Become exactly like Brahma. The Brahma Lord turned around and glanced at the pure land of 10,000 miles of spiritual mountains and the endless Brahma kingdom. After many years of hard work, 3,000 Brahma lands have enabled me to attain the Emperor's path. Now, for the sake of the monkey statue and the eternal way, we have to sacrifice something. But everything is worth it. He felt at peace. West Heaven Brahma Court. The venerables have ordered to seal off the Brahma land and do not allow others to sneak in. An order spread throughout the Brahma land. Immediately, the 3,000 Brahmas in the western heaven were all in awe, knowing that a powerful enemy was coming. A dog that tries to attack our Brahma palace deserves to be killed. You little insect jackal is not worth mentioning. Send Brahma King to station in each star field. Many angry sounds were heard, and in the pure land of Lingshan, Brahma King came out and went to guard the major star regions. Now, among the stars, Wu Dade, Big Black Dog and others are on their way. Damn dog, you are such a dog. Wu Dade couldn't help but speak. The Big Black Dog took the lead and rode directly on the Demon Emperor. It was so majestic. Human pet, you know nothing. In the world of the underworld, only this little god emperor can barely be my mount. The Big Black Dog was extremely arrogant. As he spoke, he patted the Demon Emperor's dog head and said, "Drive." Everyone was speechless for a while. This damn dog was so good at pretending. Go Densi and other venerables followed the team silently. Seeing that their Demon Emperor had become a mount, their mentality had collapsed to the point of numbness. Finally, the galaxy ahead suddenly changed. The universe is vast, cold, and dark as the main tone, but ahead, the entire star field is exuding some kind of misty golden light. Vaguely, in the endless world of stars, there was a faint sound of Zen singing and sutra chanting. Brahma land is indeed a sacred place. Go Densi couldn't help but speak. Seeing it from a distance actually makes me happy. The Brahma path is indeed extraordinary. Go Dengfeng and others were also in a daze. Even though they are venerables, they all feel something in their hearts when facing the Brahma land. If you are an ordinary cultivator and get close to the Brahma land, you will probably be saved directly and become a believer in the Brahma land. Something's wrong, Great Emperor, I feel like there's something strange in this Brahma land. At this time, the Demon Emperor riding on the Big Black Dog also spoke solemnly. It is an emperor of a generation, and one can see that there is something extraordinary about it. No matter what weirdness, don't be afraid this time, let's go. Ching Chen opened his mouth. Everyone immediately headed towards the endless Brahma land. And at this moment, Brahma frontier. To the Brahma realm. This is a star realm at the very edge of the Brahma land. Towards the Brahma realm, a huge palace stands on a famous mountain and river. Towards the Brahma palace. At this moment, in the main hall of the Brahma palace, an old Brahma monk was pacing anxiously. He is the master of Xuanhuan palace, Shi Yang. Palace master, what's wrong? A middle-aged Buddhist monk with a fat head and big ears walked in. He was the abbot Shi Jiafan. He looked at the old Buddhist monk and spoke in confusion. Quickly, give orders to all parties to find me the most beautiful female believer immediately. Shi Yang opened his mouth and said, King Brahma has come to our Brahma zombie star territory. He is a man of great compassion. He has sent orders to all parties to find the best female believer. He will pass on the opportunity. I even contributed to the few female believers of my own, but the Brahma King is a great Brahma cultivator who has saved countless female believers. I'm afraid I won't be able to catch his eye. We have to search harder. If we can find a few beautiful and fragrant people who can make King Brahma happy, you and I will have great opportunities. Hearing this, Shi Jiafan was also shocked. King Brahma is here? This is definitely a big deal. Okay, I understand. I will send an order to the preachers and ask them to find him immediately. I don't believe it. We can't find a female believer in the Brahma world who can please the king of Brahma. Immediately, orders were issued one after another to the Brahma palace. Now, in front of a huge city in the Brahma world, a Buddhist monk wearing tattered cassocks and a compassionate and solemn face was preaching. He is the preacher of the city, Shi. Countless men, women, and children throughout the city were kneeling in front of him, looking at him fervently and devoutly. Brahma has something to say. If you believe in Brahma, you will forget everything. If you forget the love between husband and wife and worship Brahma, you will not fall into the sea of evil. If you forget the kindness of your parents and respect Brahma, you will not be able to enter your nose. His Sanskrit sounds are blessed by some great magic power, making people subconsciously believe in them. Every believer couldn't help but chant along. After the sermon ended, he glanced up from the crowd with compassionate eyes, then raised his hand, and the Brahma light fell down. Those lights fell on those beautiful female believers. There are young girls with buds ready to bloom, and there are graceful women who are new wives. You are the destined ones today. You can follow me to the Brahma palace to get a chance. He spoke. Suddenly, those female believers were very happy. Axio, it's a great thing that you were chosen by Brahma. Once you go, you should practice well with the elders and serve with respect. A husband happily sends his beautiful wife forward. Xiaoxiang, you are still young and ignorant. After you leave, you must obey the elders and never disobey them. Do you understand? A mother warned her daughter, with some envy in her eyes, and said, Mom doesn't have the chance to serve the elders, so you have to do your part in filial piety for your mother. All year round, people in the Brahma land have been under the Brahma light from the day they were born. Listening to the Brahma light's teachings, they have completely forgotten the normal etiquette, justice, and shame. They are proud to serve the Brahma elders. For this reason, they can give up everything. Shi couldn't help but smile when he looked at the beautiful followers he had collected. Most likely he could get some. Suddenly, his eyes fell into the distance. I saw a group of young people appearing on the edge of the crowd. Among that group of young people, there were clearly several, unparalleled beauties. A young girl carrying a long harp on her back, with a graceful figure, dignified and beautiful. A girl in a white dress, with skin as smooth as gelatin, an aura that is pure and graceful, and a graceful figure. A girl in a purple skirt has a graceful figure, a proud figure, and bright eyes. A young girl with a small medicine bag hanging on her waist, demure and gentle, with peerless beauty. A cold and beautiful woman with a proud figure. Although her appearance is slightly inferior to that of the other four girls, she wears a long black dress and outlines a mature and charming figure. It is really beyond the comparison of those four girls. Seeing this, Shidun was surprised. When did such a peerless beauty appear in the city? Then there are 5. Come on, you 5 are also valued by Brahma. Come with me to the Brahma palace. Shi spoke eagerly. He felt stable, completely stable. Even King Xi and Brahma would never be able to walk after seeing these 5 peerless beauties. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 647. Shi was overjoyed. He stepped forward quickly, and the more he looked at the 5 beauties in front of him, the more satisfied he became. Compared with these 5 people, the ones I just selected, all pale in comparison. But this group of young people, all had a cold look on their faces. They were surprisingly Nanfan, Longzixuan, and others. Is this the Brahma land? Ordinary people have been brainwashed all day long. Ordinary people have lost their independent thinking. They are proud of being a leak and proud of being cut off. Long Xuanhuan shook his head. Just now, they had seen the whole story. A husband gives away his wife, and a mother gives away her daughter. Is it so normal that it even makes others envious? This is so weird. People in the entire Brahma realm seem to have been completely alienated. Rather than being a believer, it is better to say that he has become a slave of the Vatican, taking everything in a single thought of the Vatican. I want to destroy them with one sword. Zhuge Yuqing said directly in a cold voice. Even Qing Chen, with an unprecedented angry look on his face, said. The Brahma Deo has been reduced to this. The Brahma kingdom here should be punished. Wait a minute. Zhang Li opened his mouth and said. Don't be impulsive, please wait and see first. Zhuge Yuqing said. What's there to wait for? Just kill them directly in this Brahma realm. Qing Chen also shook his head and said. Junior brother Zhang Li, you are so kind to a woman. Zhang Li said doubtfully. I mean, wait and see other Brahma realms, if the entire star field is like this. The star destruction domain is more convenient. Hearing this, Zhuge Yuqing and Qing Chen couldn't help but choked. They only wanted to destroy the star realm. Unexpectedly, Zhang Li wanted to destroy the entire star realm. Superficial. Zhang Li is still so inappropriate. Good. What Zhang Li said makes sense, let's take a look. Everyone nodded. Do you want to get a big chance? Shi Yi walked over and said with a smile. You five, follow me to the Brahma palace. Hearing this, Nanfan said lightly. Okay. She sent a message to Long Xuanhuan and others. We'll go take a look first, and you'll come later. Soon. Shi Yi took Nanfan and the other 5 people to the Xuanhuan hall. His face was full of joy. This time, these few he found were definitely the beauties among the beauties. It will definitely satisfy King Xinfan. Entering the mountain gate, you can hear the sound of sexual intercourse everywhere. Many preachers have brought back the women they selected and are queuing up in front. Shi Jiafan is examining himself. The missionaries brought back all beautiful girls, but most of them did not catch his eye. Those who were not selected were taken directly to a certain other courtyard by the preacher to do so-called chance things. Shi Yi, where did you find these female believers? So stunning. It's amazing. Shi Yi brought Nanfeng and others to the entrance, causing exclamations of surprise. Shi Yi walked away proudly, stepped forward, and said. Abbot, the female believer I brought, can definitely do it. Hearing this, Shi Jiafan, who was registering, raised his eyes and was suddenly startled. These 5 women. Really stunning. Quick, go and call the palace master. He immediately spoke eagerly. Not long after, the old palace master Shi Yang came, and he was shocked for a moment. Palace master, these 5 people will definitely satisfy King Brahma. Shi Jiafan spoke. Shi Yang also nodded and said. Of course, of course. Shi Jiafan said, are we going to send it to King Brahma right now? When Shi Yang heard this, he shook his head and said. No. Please come to Lord Brahma. His old eyes suddenly lit up and he said. The Brahma king will definitely be willing to come and kiss such a stunning beauty. Once he comes, we will go to the Brahma palace and our status will rise to the top from now on. You and I will also have great blessings. When Shi Jiafan heard this, he was also surprised and said. It's the palace master who is planning the strategy. I will summon King Xi and Brahma immediately. He immediately took out a brass mirror and started the connection. Now. Brahma star territory. A star above the eternal world. This is the center of the Brahma star territory. Countless star-field fairies came here from other star realms. On the boat, there are all beauties selected from all walks of life. It is well known in the world that King Brahma likes to grant opportunities to female believers, so this time, All walks of life followed his wishes and rushed to pay tribute. In the center of Hangzhou is a tall hall. In the hall, a middle-aged man sits on a 6th-grade lotus platform. He was tall and burly, with bursts of Brahma light on his body. He is King in Brahma. King Brahma, you have come here to work hard. Palaces from all walks of life have found some devout female believers for you and want to serve you. A flattering Brahma monk spoke before King Xuanhuan Brahma. After receiving the letter, he said calmly, "The king is here to guard the territory and prevent the dog demon from invading the territory. I don't want to cause trouble, but since you have this intention, I will take a look." Suddenly, beauties from all walks of life appeared like clouds. I glanced at the letter and saw that there were thousands of people sent from all walks of life in the Brahma star region. They are all top-notch beauties. In his eyes, he was obviously very satisfied and said, "These believers are so devout. Tonight, I will give them the essence of Brahma. Keep collecting." He spoke directly. Hearing this, the Buddhist monks next to him were startled. This, more than 1,000 is only enough for one night. The name of Lord Brahma, is indeed well deserved. I have to keep looking. Report. At this time, a Brahma Lord suddenly appeared and said, "Reporting to King Brahma, my disciple discovered 5 peerless beauties. This Brahma Lord is Gano, the disciple of Lord Xuanhuan Brahma." He excitedly handed over a bronze mirror and said, "This is a picture sent to the Brahma realm. King Brahma, these 5 people, are truly stunning." When King Brahma heard this, he immediately took the bronze mirror and glanced at it. His eyes couldn't help but be amazed. That bronze mirror, the voices and faces of the 5 girls, are really hard to find anywhere in the world. I have had hundreds of millions of daughters, but none of them can compare with these 5 people. He spoke directly, his eyes full of lust, waved his hand and said, "This king will come to the Brahma realm." Now, he didn't even look at the beauties sent by the Brahma realm, and left the lotus platform directly. Seeing King Brahma leaving, thousands of beautiful women burst into tears. And at this moment, King Brahma has set off and is coming to the Brahma realm. Xuanhuan was extremely excited. The old palace master was even more surprised when he heard this. The presence of King Brahma in person was a supreme honor for a small and marginal world like theirs. These 4 beauties will be our stepping stone. The old palace master spoke eagerly. Soon, thousands of Brahma lights are falling in the Brahma world. In an instant, the entire Brahma world was filled with sensations, as if the supreme Brahma path was undergoing an overhaul. Above the sky, the lotus platform emits endless light and gallops past. Throughout the Brahma world, countless believers knelt down and worshipped, with enthusiasm reaching the extreme. I saw the Brahma Daksyu, Dazeo, please save me and let me enter the land of bliss. A fanatical young man just committed suicide. Daughter, take off your clothes quickly. If you can make Daksyu fall in love with you, our whole family will be blessed by Brahma. Grandpa, is that the legendary Brahma Deo overhaul? I'm about to commit suicide. If I die before the Brahma Deo overhaul, my soul will go to the west. To the Brahma hall, all the Brahma monks were even more excited. They all knelt down. Welcome King Brahma to come. Thousands of feet of golden light is falling, and the golden lotus has reached the sky in front of the mountain. Shiyong to the Lord of the Brahma Palace and pay homage to King Brahma. Greetings to King Brahma. For a moment, everyone shouted. Where are those 5 female believers? Tonight, I will practice the Brahma path with them. On the golden lotus platform, King Brahma looked down. But he saw 5 girls standing gracefully in front of the Xuanhuan hall. Surprisingly, they are Nanfan, Yungzi, Xiling, Subakian, and Gongyat. At this moment, all 5 people raised their eyes and looked coldly at the Brahma king in the sky. Sure enough, she is stunning in the world, stunning in the world. King Brahma was ecstatic when he heard the news, and desire burst out from his eyes. He reached out with his big hand and grabbed the 5 people from Yungzi directly. However, at this moment, a terrifying big black claw suddenly appeared in the sky. The terrifying claws directly wiped out King Brahma's big hand. Suddenly, everyone was shocked. What is going on? Who dares to stop me? Lord Brahma was also frightened and angry, and looked towards the source of the giant claw. But in that direction, I saw a big black dog, sitting on a spotted dog, walking majestically and proudly. Behind it were 3 large mixed-haired dogs and a group of young people. Seeing this, Lord Brahma's pupils shrank suddenly. No. Are you the big black dog? He was frightened. It should be noted that this time, why did he come to the Brahma Star territory from Lingshan? It's because Lingshan has an order and King Brahma guards it. Just to be on guard against this big black dog. Now, we actually bumped into him. Everyone goes to bed first, and I will continue to write online for the 3rd update, but I may not finish it. Good night. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 648. The sudden appearance of this big black dog shocked King Xinfan to the extreme. In particular, he discovered, the dog's breath. Too strong. Even the Dalmatian dog sitting under it is incredible. Wrong. Suddenly, he realized something and looked at the spotted dog under the big black dog. This spot, this G machine. He said to the spotted dog, the demon emperor of the Tengu clan, who are you? He seriously suspected that the big black dog's mount was a blood relative of the demon emperor of the Tengu clan, and might even be his legitimate son. The smell is so extraordinary. When the spotted dog heard this, he bared his teeth and said, this emperor, is the demon emperor of the Tengu clan. It couldn't help but release a ray of imperial machine. Suddenly, there was a huge earthquake in the field. The entire Siang Brahma Hall, and even the entire Siang Brahma world, trembled. Above the sky, Lord Brahma was also horrified. He fell directly from the lotus platform and hit the ground heavily, with extreme fear in his eyes. I couldn't even get up, and I didn't even dare to raise my head. That is, the true power of the emperor. In front of the emperor, the venerable was no more than an ant, and he, a little Brahma king, was like dust, not worth mentioning. No. Impossible, didn't the demon emperor already go to the broken and lost land? How could he come back? How could he come back? He spoke in horror. Countless years ago, many emperors entered the ruined and lost land. No one misses me, and I can't come back. Now, the demon emperor has reappeared? If this spreads out, huge waves will be caused in the 6 realms of the world. At the same time, he thought that the big black dog could actually sit cross-legged on the demon emperor and use the demon emperor as a mount. What kind of existence should this be? Beyond the emperor? Could it be related to the legendary Eternal Way? Could it be a strong man who came from the Eternal Land? No. At this moment, he just wanted to escape, but he couldn't walk. Throughout the Siang Bra Hall, countless Brahma monks were prostrate and kneeling. But in the sky, the big black dog slapped the demon emperor on the head with one paw and said, "Have you pretended enough?" The demon emperor suddenly shook his head and said tremblingly, "Great emperor, I, as your mount, saw that this little Brahma king dared to be disrespectful to you, so I couldn't help but punish him and let him know that you are the unparalleled great emperor in all time and the whole Brahma. Everyone in the court needs to be worshipped." It spoke quickly. Behind, Go Dengfeng and the other 3 venerables were all shocked. The demon emperor, how could he lick so well? Being a dog licker. The big black dog felt comfortable after hearing this. It got off the demon emperor, looked at the Brahma king, suddenly picked up Wu Date and threw it away. "Kill this fat man and I'll let you go." The big black dog spoke directly. Hearing this, the Brahma king was immediately stunned. What, if you kill this fat man, you can leave and live? Really? Isn't killing a little god king just like playing? Seeing the fat man fall, he punched him directly. Damn dog, I will let master stew you when I turn around. Wu Dade cursed angrily and hurriedly adjusted his posture with his buttocks downward. Bang! There was a loud noise, and Wu Dade was blown away. He hit the entire mountain heavily, causing the mountain to collapse and smoke and dust to scatter. Master dog, can I go? After believing King Brahma, he immediately looked at the big black dog nervously. That fat man, isn't he already dead? However, before the big black dog could speak, an angry voice came out from the collapsed rubble, saying, "Go your way." Hearing this, King Brahma was immediately startled. He turned around and saw a fat man with a grey face crawling out of the pile of rocks. However, he was intact. Are you okay?" The Brahma king was extremely surprised. With his punch, even a Brahma king of the same level would be injured. It is more than enough to kill Lord Brahma. The result was, "Where's your butt? Let me see your butt." He didn't believe it. He didn't believe that his punch didn't even hurt Lord Brahma. Wu Dade raised his fist and charged suddenly, saying, "I'll hum you to death." He came to fight and fought with King Xinfan, and they immediately fought together. "Little Lord Fan, do you really think you can go back to the War King?" King Liao Xian Brahma shouted angrily and punched him away with the same punch. The two bodies collided. The surrounding sound is like thunder. However, as soon as he touched it, Brahma King was even more shocked. This fat man's body was vaguely, not weaker than his own. Would it be a bit cruel to let junior brother Dade fight King Brahma alone? Lin Zhujian looked a little complicated. Although Wu Dade's eighth turn golden body was extremely powerful, the gap between him and King Brahma was still very large. Cruel. The big black dog was extremely disdainful and said, "If even a Brahma king cannot be killed in retrograde motion, there is no need for him to live in this life. He should die as soon as possible so as not to burden the master." As it said that, it turned around and glanced at Nanfan, Long Xuanhuan, and a group of others. Long Xuanhuan and others were all a little frightened by it. This domain is reserved for this emperor's favor. One person, one domain. Those who can't be defeated, die by yourself. As it spoke, it suddenly displayed its great supernatural power, with overwhelming magic power, building a gate to the void, reflecting the heavens and Brahma lands. Through this void gate, you can directly enter other Brahma Earth star fields. Then, it looked at Long Xuanhuan. Long Xuanhuan felt his butt tighten inexplicably and said hurriedly, "No need, Dehe, I'll do it myself." He jumped directly into the void gate and disappeared immediately. "My sword, can't wait any longer." Duguyuking stepped into it. 3,000 Brahma realms, shortcomings are green. Lu Rang came in holding Cao. "The Brahma land must be destroyed, let the little monk save these shameless people." Qing Chen stepped into it. The underworld talisman should show its power. A talisman lit up on Lin Zhujian's body. The common people are a chess piece, and the Brahma earth should also be like this. Zhang Li also entered calmly. Even Xianning, with his hands behind his back and an extraordinary posture, showed all his former Demon King demeanor at this moment and went in directly. In front of the Brahma hall, Yungzi, Nanfan, etc. also rose into the sky. "Sister Yungzi, we'll see you soon." Zi Ling opened her mouth and left with the drawing board. Dehe, in the Brahma court, the real strong man has not yet appeared, so you must be careful. Nanfan thought carefully and gave instructions to the big black dog before leaving, and then left. Only Subakian and Yun 11 were left in the field. "Are you going? If you don't go, I'll close the door right now." The big black dog looked towards Yongzi, wagging its tail and asking questions, with a flattering look on its face. Yongzi gently touched Dehei's dog's head, thought for a while and said, "It's boring to just stay here. Let's go play for a while." She turned around, pulled Subakian and said, "Bai Qian, let's go together." Bai Qian nodded and immediately entered the void gate with Yun 11. Now, only the big black dog and 4 of the Tengu clan were left. "Take these mutts like you and guard the Lingshan mountain. If anyone above the venerable level dares to intervene, I will kill each one. Do you understand?" The big black dog gave orders to the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor nodded hurriedly and said, "Yes, I'll go right now." It took the 3 venerables and left. There was only one big black dog left in the field. It looked towards the ground, glanced at Wu Dade, who was having a heated fight with Venerable Xian, and murmured to himself. "Someone passed through the lost and broken land, still behind the giant bronze door. He beat me on the Dao fruit several times. Wow, I'm so angry that I'm so angry. Ah, this emperor is so angry. Although only 1/3 of my Dao fruit is left to guard the gate, anyone who can defeat 1/3 of this emperor, must be a huge evil over there." There was some worry in the dog's eyes and he said, "Someone is here, planning something secretly." It thought, scratching the dog's head. This is why it is so cruel to Wu Dade and others. What Daokyo told it behind the giant bronze gate made it realize. The earthly world may no longer be safe. Good night, thank you to all the readers who urged me in the live broadcast room. I am diligent because of you. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 649. Western Heaven. One of the 3,000 Brahma lands, the Brahma Spirit Star Territory. The Central Eternal Realm, the Brahma Spirit Realm. A Brahma King is floating in a world, and the Golden Lotus platform emits endless light. He is being worshipped by the entire star field. The endless aspiration power of living beings continuously flowed into his lotus platform, nourishing his Dharma body and making the Brahma light around him appear even more dazzling. On the earth, the faces of those kneeling creatures were full of fanaticism. The hair of many mature people quickly turned gray. Not only was their willpower taken away, but also their life essence. Above the sky, the Brahma King showed a smile. He waved his hand, and in an instant, all Sanskrit creatures fell into a frenzied negotiation. Because he had just harvested the life wishes of a generation in the Brahma realm, and he must allow the Brahma Spirit Star realm to breed a new generation, otherwise, it would be unsustainable. Suddenly, the Brahma King raised his head slightly and looked towards the sky. "I saw a gate to the void appearing above the sky. Who can penetrate this world with such magical power?" King Brahma was slightly startled. Immediately afterwards, a young man walked out of the void gate. The young man had a strong body and a long figure. He came with his hands behind his back. Surprisingly, it was Long Zixuan. Long Zixuan appeared in this world, and with a glance, he could see everything that happened in the field. Under the Brahma court, there is no good land. Long Zixuan couldn't help but shake his head. "Who are you? What's the matter with coming from the void?" At this time, King Brahma spoke coldly. However, Long Zixuan did not answer. He took a step forward, filled with divine power, and the dragon's roar shook the sky. The entire eternal realm is full of feelings, and those creatures who have fallen into crazy coitus can't help but stop. "You have had your life essence taken away by this bald donkey, do you still want to be controlled by him?" Long Zixuan shouted. He wanted to wake these people up. Where did the evil spirit come from to dare to slander Deshiu? Please overhaul and slay this demon. We are willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of Brahma. Devil, you can't even try to trick us. However, what Long Zixuan got in exchange was the angry curses of billions of living beings. No one will wake up from this. After countless years of rule by the Brahma court, these people have lived in the shadow of the Brahma court since they were born. The concept of good and evil is the will of the Brahma court. Not really a human being at all. Evil heretic, it seems that you want to do harm to our Brahma court. In the sky, the Brahma king even shouted coldly. Xuanhuan glanced at the millions of sentient beings below, sighed slightly, and the trace of kindness in his eyes completely disappeared. The creatures in the Brahma realm can no longer be saved. Perhaps sending them into reincarnation is the best option. He immediately looked at King Brahma and said word by word, "I'll kill you." The words fell. The dragon soul rises. The roar shook the sky. The light of Xuanhuan's fist collapses into the clouds, and he steps on all the worlds. Like an endless dragon lord, he uses the power of Mount Tai and the North Sea to kill the Brahma king directly. You dare to cause trouble even if you are a little god. King Brahma was disdainful, and his king-level palm suddenly pressed down. What's going on in the sky? Why is it so green? A piece of grass, is that a demonic grass? It's going to cover the sky. No, it's so murderous. In the Fanduo star territory, in a certain world, an overwhelming amount of grass blades suddenly filled the air. It attracted the attention of the world. Who is causing trouble in our Fanduo star territory? A loud voice suddenly sounded, and a ray of sacred Brahma light immediately slashed towards the blade of grass like a heavenly sword. And among the blades of grass, a young man suddenly walked out. He was holding a pod of grass in his hand, and he looked like a farmer. "Bald donkey, come, Grandpa Lu will put some green on your head." Lu Rang spoke, stepped on the grass blades, and killed him directly. Abide by the way of respecting Brahma. Brahma's taking your wife is a gift to you. Killing your parents is a permission to you. Rebirth in bliss, dying, losing, and suffering for Brahma, are all the greatest honors. In a certain world, King Brahma's majestic voice spread throughout the star field, and he was preaching. People are pious. However, right now, on the endless starry sky, there was suddenly a sword light that stretched across millions of miles. Wherever the sword light reaches, the star realm collapses, the star wheels are completely destroyed, and the stars are missing. The light of one sword chills millions of worlds. Who dares to commit murder in our Brahma land? The compassionate and solemn Brahma king suddenly became angry. However, before he finished speaking, a young man in green shirt had already come with the intention of the sword. Behind him, the sword domain was ups and downs, and there were thousands of ways. His eyes were cold, and he said, "Bald donkey, suffer death." How are the handsome men sent to King Brahma today? Are they okay? In the same realm of Brahma, two old monks were talking in secret, and one of them asked, "Of course, they are all strong young men. I didn't expect that King Liao Duofan actually likes men." Another old Buddhist cultivator looked a little envious and said, "It's a pity that I'm old. If I were younger, I might also be favored by King Brahma." The old Buddhist cultivator next to him was unhappy and said, "If you were young, King Brahma would also choose me. When you were young, you were weak, but I was the tall and powerful one." The two old Vaticans were arguing. Suddenly, they seemed to sense something, and they all turned back and looked outside. I saw a young monk who had entered the temple at some point. He was sweeping the floor while walking, looking extremely comfortable, calm, and indifferent, as if he was sweeping his own yard. Where did this sweeping monk come from? One of the old Buddhist monks was confused and said, "You look pretty, but don't think that this will make King Brahma like you." In their opinion, this was probably another young man who wanted to introduce himself as a male prostitute after learning that King Brahma was here. What a wishful thinking. King Brahma likes tall and mighty people, but the monk in front of him has a thin body, so how can he do that? However, after they finished speaking, the monk raised his head and smiled slightly. His broom stopped. Boom! In an instant, this famous Brahma mountain that stretched for 100,000 miles collapsed. The temple collapsed and turned into dust, the Buddhist cultivators cried out in pain, and there were countless casualties. Boy, you're crazy. Be bold and seek death. The two old Buddhist cultivators roared angrily. They rose into the sky, extremely frightened and angry. The collapse of a mountain or the collapse of a temple is a trivial matter, but disturbing King Brahma's happiness is seeking death. At the same time, a naked and powerful bald man appeared in the air. He looked tall, mighty, powerful, and arrogant. However, there was bright red blood between his buttocks, and there was a look of pain and enjoyment on his face. Who dares to disturb me? His eyes flashed with anger. Ching Chen took a look and couldn't help but shook his head and said, "Forget it, you don't need to go beyond the realm of salvation, just beat him to death and your soul will fly away." He raised his broom, and in an instant, an endless terrifying storm spread from his broom. Like a natural disaster coming to the world, this kind of storm swept across the entire eternal realm and extended to the entire galaxy. This is a god-level storm. For a time, those stars that shone with Brahma light lost their luster like fireflies, and were swept and destroyed by this terrifying storm. You wanna die? The tall and mighty King Brahma was angry, completely angry. Inform everyone from all walks of life that if you find traces of the big black dog, the six-eared macaque princess, the bull demon king, etc., report them immediately. In the world of Brahma, a Brahma king issued an order. Beside him were several Brahma lords. At this moment, one Brahma lord asked a question carefully. King Brahma, is Lingshan too big and trivial this time? In the past, the demon world was destroyed. What can a few little demons do this time? However, he just finished speaking. Under his feet, black and white chess lines suddenly flashed. This Lord Fan suddenly looked stunned, and subconsciously looked down. Then, he saw with his own eyes that his body had turned into pieces of meat on the ground. Directly dead. 7 or 8 Brahma lords before and after him perished at the same time. King Brahma's expression changed, and Brahma light shot out from his eyes. At this moment, the surging galaxy is boiling, and the endless star field explodes. The black and white chess lights were overwhelming, and the Brahma king saw that the entire star field was actually penetrated by black and white chess lines at this moment. Total destruction. No. The Brahma king was shocked and angry, and a trace of fear actually flashed in his heart. Someone took action, but he was completely unaware of it, and the entire star field was destroyed. At this moment, many chess lines have descended on top of his head. The intertwining of yin and yang, the intertwining of black and white, the reversal of life and death. A young man, like the master of chess, appeared quietly. He looked at King Brahma and said, "Sending you on your way. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert." Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 650. Hey, my senior brother Liao Chen, why did you die in the dead land? In a certain area, a female Buddhist cultivator took out a portrait that actually belonged to Lord Chen Brahma. I think how beautiful it was when you and I were practicing the Brahma path together. But now, you are chasing reincarnation and running away, leaving me alone. I love you. The female Buddhist cultivator shed tears at the portrait and said to the man on her body, "Didn't you eat?" In the midst of excitement, suddenly, the face of the female Buddhist cultivator changed and she said, "No. Get out." She slapped the man away, and the next moment, he appeared in the sky. Looking from a distance, I saw the sky ahead, as if a mysterious world was coming. The sound of water is surging like a mighty river. It was a valley. The black and white land in the valley formed a vast area, and in it, yellow spring water roared out. Is this the legendary underworld? No. How could the ghostly underworld appear here? The female Buddhist cultivator was surprised. That world completely appeared. Covered the entire Brahma realm. At the same time, there seemed to be some kind of secret power flowing in that world, as if it had entered a dead time and space, and all the creatures in the world were suddenly heading for death. The death season of underworld. The face of the female Buddhist cultivator changed. According to rumors, the underworld of the dead land is divided into the season of life and the season of death. In the season of death, all living creatures will be completely destroyed if they step into it. Now, this underworld is showing the season of death in the Brahma realm. She subconsciously wanted to retreat because the reputation of the land of death was too great. However, a heavenly master had already appeared behind her. The sky is filled with talismans. Somewhere in the star field, the Brahma king preaches scriptures, and all living beings are pious and are receiving the baptism of the Brahma religion. Suddenly, the sound of a piano sounded, spread throughout the heavens, and fell into the ears of all sentient beings from the Brahma light of 10,000 rays. Endless believers feel something in their hearts and forget themselves in an instant. Even the sitting Brahma king suddenly felt ethereal in his heart. He realized that he seemed to have entered the realm of enlightenment. It seems that all the worries of time have completely disappeared. However, the next moment, he realized something was wrong. Opening his eyes suddenly, he saw all the living beings in front of him, all with smiles on their faces, already dead. On the horizon, a young girl is sitting on the clouds, playing the piano in an ethereal way. Brahma loves newborn babies. This is the best way to please Brahma. A Brahma king looked at the babies presented by the entire star field with a smile on his lips. This is a valuable resource for his cultivation. Countless parents knelt in front of him, with fanaticism on their faces. King Brahma raised his hand and used his magic power to collect all the babies in an instant. However, before his Brahma light fell, suddenly, the entire world in front of him disappeared. The Brahma king couldn't help wiping his eyes and looked forward. The entire star field has disappeared. He was the only one left. And in front, suddenly there was a girl in a purple skirt. She has a graceful figure and holds a painting in her hand. You want those babies? They are inside. Saying that, Zi Ling shook slightly and the scroll reopened. The endless star field reappears. Seeing this, King Brahma was horrified. Where did this girl in purple skirt come from? There are such terrifying methods. The entire star field is included in the painting? Moreover, he didn't notice it at all. Endless creatures also reappeared along with the star field. However, at the same time, those believers rose into the sky and killed King Brahma. Are you crazy? You actually dare to rebel across the entire star territory? A Brahma king shook the heavens with his angry voice. These people dare to attack him, are they crazy? This is unimaginable, because, under the guidance of the Vatican for countless years, the Vatican has become the only belief of these people. Now a rebel? Kill! Kill! Shout out to kill Zhentian. I understand, it's you. You have enslaved my Brahma court people, I will kill you, you witch. He wiped out hundreds of millions of Brahma believers with one palm, and then rose into the sky. Zi Ling picked up and put down the pen, and the shadow of an old hen slowly appeared. In an instant, in the galaxy, the phantom of the divine phoenix overwhelmed the sky and the earth, as if it was about to collapse the heavens. The old hen she painted already possesses a hint of divine power. This Brahma king was a little panicked for a moment. The Bodhi tree has no tree, and the mirror is not a stand. There is nothing in the beginning, so how can it cause dust? Xuanhuan recited the poem that Li Fan had read before, facing the old Brahma king in front of him, shook his head and said, Old bald donkey, you have so much filth in your heart, you really should commit suicide and die. The poems she recited exuded the power of the great avenue. There is no Bodhi tree, and the endless Brahma light of the old Brahma king dissipates. The bright mirror is not a stand, the lotus stand is broken, and the cassock is torn. There was nothing in the first place, the Brahma Deo was illusory, and the old Brahma king's cultivation had dropped sharply. Wherever there is dust, he vomits blood and his orifices are cut off. No. What kind of poetry is this? Weird, weird. The old Brahma king was horrified. But Xuanhuan was a little unhappy. She kicked a few Brahma lord heads at her feet like a pebble and said, "I'm still too weak. If Big Brother had said it himself, the entire Brahma palace would have been destroyed." She is annoyed. At the same time, this pot refines the world. A terrifying pot of rules hangs above all worlds, refining thousands of avenues. Dare you? A Brahma king violently bombarded the pot of rules. 3,000 Brahma lands, fighting for heaven and earth. Compared with others, Xuanhuan and Xuanhuan were probably the most relaxed. Now, in a Brahma realm. Who are you? A Brahma king looked at Xuanhuan in horror. In the brief moment of the battle, the girl in white actually showed a variety of terrifying ways. When the music of the piano played, he couldn't find the fighting spirit in his heart. As the painting is made, the space around him changes. With a snap of his fingers, the way of the sword flowed like trickling water, but it made his heart tremble. The most terrifying thing is that this girl can actually affect time when she dances. This Brahma king's mentality has collapsed. Damn it, is this still a god? Your holiness is not so perverted and troublesome, okay. Now, he is really a little timid. You can keep the green hills without worrying about having firewood. The Brahma king turned around and wanted to run away. Running again. In the sky, Xuanhuan was anxious, hurriedly painting, changing the space, and at the same time, his delicate hands danced, and time went back. That Brahma king has returned to his original place. Sister Baijian, how are you? Is your medicine ready? Xuanhuan looked at Xuanhuan beside him with excitement. Xuanhuan said, "It's almost, I was short of time and managed to prepare 97 kinds of poisons. I don't know which one can poison King Brahma." Xuanhuan said, "Don't be afraid, let's try one by one." With that said, he picked up the bag of poison prepared by Xuanhuan and looked at King Brahma. When the Brahma king saw this, his eyes were straightened. Damn! These two girls look harmless, but are they too inhuman? Are you planning to test the medicine on yourself? Moreover, just try poison? Crazy, crazy. I won't let you get. King Brahma shouted. However, before he could finish the word success, a packet of medicine was poured directly into his mouth. Yongzi used Xiling's painting method to directly change the space where he took the package of medicine. Let the packet of medicine fall into King Brahma's mouth. King Brahma was shocked. He subconsciously swallowed a lot and hurriedly spit it out. I am the Brahma king, with infinite longevity and supreme cultivation. If you want to poison the Brahma king, don't even think about it. He shouted angrily. However, the words just fell. He kicked his legs and suddenly lay flat on his back, foaming at the mouth and his limbs twitching. The Brahma king's eyes popped out, and he was simply shocked. What kind of poison could poison a Brahma king like himself? It's been poisoned, it's been poisoned, it's effective. Yongzi walked over happily and said, Baijian, hurry up, let's try something else. Xuanhuan was also quite happy and said, this medicine, according to the master's prescription, is used to repel mosquitoes. I only prepared half of it. I didn't expect it to poison King Brahma. Sister Yongzi, let's try the medicine master uses to kill cockroaches. Hearing this, King Brahma, who was twitching on the ground, directly doubted his life. What? Did the mosquito repellent poison him, a Brahma king? Damn, that cockroach-killing medicine. He panicked, completely panicked, and felt that he would probably die from the cockroach poison. Are these two girls devils? No. He was twitching and wailing. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 651. Western Sky. Vatican. The Fanduo star territory has been destroyed, and the guarding Brahma king has been killed. The same is true for the Valor star territory. The Xuanhuan star territory is completely dark. The news came one after another. 12 star regions before and after have been destroyed. On the Lingshan mountain, the 800 Brahma kings were all in a commotion at this moment. What happened? Aren't they just a few miscellaneous fish from the demon world who want to come to the Brahma land to cause trouble? Why are they causing such a big commotion? The 12 star regions have suffered heavy losses. This is an unprecedented disaster in the Brahma land. All the Brahma kings look solemn. Don't panic, everyone, Lord Luo Yizun has already gone to quell the chaos. At this time, a powerful Brahma king spoke. Hearing this, people's hearts instantly calmed down. Lingshan is the holy land of Brahma King's ancestral mountain. There are 10 great sages above and 800 Brahma kings below. It can be called one of the most powerful places in the entire world. Within Lingshan, there is also the mysterious Lingshan secret realm, which hides the other shore revered by Brahma as the land of supreme bliss. At this moment, a venerable person comes down from the mountain, which is enough to suppress all troubles. In the ancestral court of Lingshan, 8 sages are also waiting. Wenyan, Shupu, Guanxian, and Shizi, the 4 protectors of the law, are prominently listed. The Brahma realm is destroyed. This is the great calamity of our Brahma. Venerable Shupu sighed. No need to sigh, all those who pass away will be reborn on the other side. The Venerable Guanxian was indifferent. I wonder how Lord Luo Yizun is doing with quelling the chaos. He has not returned yet after so long. Venerable Shiji was a female venerable. She opened her mouth and said, "Let me take a look." After saying that, her eyes glowed brightly, and she traveled through time and space, looking for the figure of Lord Luo Yizun. Suddenly, she was stunned. Then, what is that? Her expression changed greatly. What's wrong? Other sages asked questions. Venerable Shizi's voice actually trembled a little as he said, "Venerable Luo Yi seems to be dying, being eaten by 3 dogs. He was bitten to death by a dog." Hearing this, the Lingshan ancestral court suddenly shook violently. The expressions of all the 8 great venerables changed. They stood up suddenly, anger igniting on everyone's face. Venerable Guanxian waved his hand, time and space flowed, and that picture appeared on the entire Lingshan mountain. All the sages and Brahma kings saw it. 3 mixed-haired dogs were surrounding a bald venerable man, biting crazily. And that venerable man would let out a shrill cry from time to time, which was so miserable. Venerable Luo Yi was bitten to death by a dog. Damn, what kind of dog is that? Too much. Suddenly, there was a huge earthquake in Lingshan, and everyone was extremely angry. These are the 3 venerables of the demon emperor's lineage. Venerable Guanxian said in a cold voice. These 3 bereaved dogs actually dare to come to our Brahma land to cause trouble. I want to kill them. He stood out of thin air, raised his hand, and directed the power of Lingshan mountain through the starry sky to attack and kill the 3 dogs from the air. The Lingshan roared, the dojo glowed brightly, and a terrifying and supreme energy suddenly rose up, like a peerless sword, piercing the scene in the air. This energy has surpassed the level of the venerable. At least Yati, even, contains a hint of imperial energy. It was more than enough to slaughter 3 dog lords. The chi machine is peerless, destroying everything and falling into that picture. But, at this moment, a big dog's paw, full of bits and pieces, peeked into the air. This chi machine was directly blocked. The scene above Lingshan also disappeared directly. Suddenly, everyone on Lingshan was extremely shocked. Then, what is that? Those dog paws can actually block the power of Lingshan Dojo. Impossible. The Lingshan Dojo contains the energy of the Brahma ancestors of the past, which is unparalleled in the world, unless the demon emperor returns. Speculations abounded. The 8 great sages were all shocked at this moment and looked at each other. Could it be that the demon emperor has returned? Venerable Xuanhuan murmured. That is a Gi-day emperor. If it returns, the pattern of the underworld will be rewritten. But, didn't he already enter the ruined and lost land in the past? How could he come back? Something big is going to happen in the underworld. Many venerables looked solemn and worried. Venerable Xuanhuan stepped out from the crowd, his face full of solemnity, and said, "Open the Lingshan formation. All venerables and Brahma kings, prepare for war. If we can survive this catastrophe, our Brahma palace will live forever." Suddenly, the whole Lingshan mountain started to move. The mountain protecting formation was fully deployed, the 800 Brahma kings were preparing for battle, and the 8 great sages were waiting for the enemy. The atmosphere was extremely tense. And at this moment, in a void, 3 mixed-haired dogs were eating a bald venerable man. Surprisingly, it was Go Densi and the other 3 dogs. Lord Lingshan Luoyi went out to quell the chaos, but was directly intercepted and killed by them here. At this moment, it is devouring its flesh and blood. However, a voice sounded coldly. "Stop first, don't eat." Gauden thought about the 3 dogs. They all stopped and looked at the Dalmatian in the sky. The spotted dog looked in the direction of Lingshan and said with great solemnity, "Keeping him is still useful." The 3 dogs looked at each other, but did not dare to say anything more. "Ancestor, the Black Dog Emperor, gave us the order to bite us to death." Go Densi spoke with some fear. However, the Demon Emperor's eyes flashed with disdain. "That big black dog's strength is only at the sub-emperor level. If I hadn't wandered and been lost in a broken and lost land for many years, my energy and blood were exhausted, and my status fell, how could I have been bullied by a dog?" It was very unwilling in its words. Because, in its opinion, if it were at its full strength, it would be able to kill the big black dog. In fact, the strength of the big black dog has indeed not reached the emperor level, which is equivalent to the peak of the sub-emperor, and is still a step away from the emperor. However, Gumao's status is too high. In addition, the demon emperor's own strength is only 1,000th, so he is no match for the big black dog. Now, my chance to be free has come. The demon emperor looked in the direction of Lingshan with burning eyes and murmured, "That old guy, Brahma ancestor, is so scheming. He's actually still alive and still in Lingshan. There are so many emperors in the world, but this old man sees it most clearly. Going to a broken and lost place is indeed courting death." It sighed. The chi machine sent out from the direction of Lingshan just now made it aware of the truth. No matter how strong that big black dog is, can he beat Brahma ancestor? When it dies, we'll run away. The demon emperor speaks. Hearing this, Go Densi Sangha was also instantly overjoyed. Surprisingly, there is still hope of freedom. Now, Brahma Star territory. You will die or you will die. Wu Dade was covered in blood, and now he was sitting on the head of King Xinfan. King Brahma had been beaten to pieces by him, leaving only one head. In the sky, the big black dog glanced at Wu Dade with disdain and said, "Human pet, you are too weak. Others have already solved it. Look, you are the first to start and the last to finish. You are an embarrassment to this emperor." Hearing this, the Bull Demon King and Lu Kaling, who were following Brother Dehe, both had complicated expressions. This is a divine king who killed King Brahma. In the eyes of the big black dog, it seems to be quite bad. One person equals one domain, what are their origins? The Bull Demon King was even more shocked. When Wu Dade heard this, he was indignant and said, "Damn dog, you still have the nerve to say that." He punched King Xinfan on the head, completely killing Xian, and rushed into the sky, saying, "I have to let master make dog meat soup later." When the big black dog heard this, he became angry and bared his teeth and said, "Human pet, are you drifting away, or am I unable to bite you anymore?" Wu Dade saw that the big black dog's teeth seemed to be a little longer than before. He couldn't help but feel a chill in his buttocks and said, "Forget it, damn dog, leave quickly and find senior sister Nanfan and the others." Immediately, the big black dog took Wu Dade and others to find others. The south wind was spotless, except for the drops of Brahma blood on the strings. The entire star field was wiped out, and only the sound of her piano sounded ethereal, as if she was mourning for this world. There is an additional bald head in Zi Ling's painting. The bald head has a ferocious expression, as if he was full of unwillingness before being painted out of the painting. Long Xuanhuan stepped on the king's corpse and caught the wind. Zhang Li was drinking tea. It seemed that the battle had been over for a long time. When he saw Wu Dade and the others coming, he raised his glass and said softly, "Beyond life and death, loneliness is like snow." Wu Dade and others were speechless. This domain was completely destroyed. Soon, everyone was gathered. Everyone has experienced a bloody battle, except Yun 11 and Subakian. When they saw the two of them, a group of people were a little confused. There wasn't a drop of blood on either of them. Yungzi took bags of poison and fed it to King Brahma repeatedly. When King Brahma was about to die, she let the world go back for a minute and injected it again. Subakian, on the other hand, traveled to many star realms and sprinkled colorless and odorless poison. All the creatures in the world died in their sleep. "Sister Yungzi, what are you doing? It seems to be fun." Zi Ling's big eyes were filled with curiosity. "You are here." When Yun 11 saw everyone arriving, he stuffed all the medicine into King Brahma's mouth. King Brahma, who was still twitching, suddenly died. This Brahma king was poisoned to death. Lin Zhuzhan asked. "Yes, Sister Baiqian prepared the mosquito repellent, cockroach medicine, etc. according to the great demon king's prescription, and the effect is quite good." Yungzi spoke. Subakian was a little embarrassed and said, "These medicines are temporarily prepared and are only semi-finished products, otherwise the medicine would be more effective." Hearing this, a group of disciples fell into deep silence. The medicine master used to repel mosquitoes, is it so abnormal? I heard master say that some poisons can kill people, what kind of person is he talking about? Zhang Li couldn't help but speak. Everyone also felt, they didn't dare to think about it. The big black dog looked at Subakian, a hint of complexity flashed in the dog's eyes, and said, "Master can poison people with poison, if you match it, you are really invincible. Let's go to the Brahma Palace and save Xing soon." Qing Chen opened his mouth. Lu Kaling and the Bull Demon King also had expectations written on their faces. Good night.